Well, hello, Captain Ryan.
Hey.
It's been a minute, actually, like a little over a year, so not as bad as I initially thought.
We're back.
Welcome back. Welcome back to our podcast. We are super excited to be here. My name is Melinda Van Fleet.
And I'm Ryan Van Fleet.
And we own Good Karma Sportfishing and educational programs here in the beautiful Florida Keys. And what's going on right now? What are we celebrating?
We're celebrating our 16th year in the Florida Keys.
16 years.
16 years.
16 years. We landed here in the Florida Keys October 1st, 2009. We left Minneapolis, Minnesota on August 30th. We took a month, saw our families, and then we were really blessed and lucky that Ryan's dad has an amazing sister named Aunt Laura, and we were able to stay at her place in Fort Myers. There were snowbirds for 3 weeks until we came here to the Upper Keys.
Yes.
So quite a journey.
It was a journey.
So in celebration of our 16 years here and that we're still here, because a lot of people leave. People don't realize that. And I think it's probably common in lots of places, especially tourist places, that people don't stay very long, but a lot of people leave here after 2 years, and maybe we'll talk about that on another podcast, but we're still here 16 years later.
Yep.
And so we had this idea that we would do one kind of main topic per podcast and have like 16 main topics. So we'll try to do a podcast once a week. We have a busy schedule, so it may not be exactly on the same day, but have the topic be in relation to being a couple in business and our journey, right?
Yes. Yep, it's been a journey. It's still a journey.
It is a journey. If anyone thinks that the journey ends or gets easier, I would say that's a no.
No.
Maybe we'll cover that as one of the lessons. I'm sure we'll think of like all these like micro lessons as we go through this, but what did I say the first one should be? Let's see if he remembers. This will be a test.
I don't know. I forgot.
You forgot already. If it's not truly about fishing, it does tend to leave his brain. And he has an open head center. If you are familiar with human design, I use human design in my coaching business. And yes, he has an open head center. So sometimes things come and go. And that's actually something I'm going to be launching a mastermind for couples in business called The Formidable. And we're going to use human design in that because once I learned that my husband had an open head center, it was just a game changer. So I tend not to get mad at him so much anymore, right? Today, write down the chicken, 4 p.m. Remind him to take the chicken out of the refrigerator.
It's not related to fishing?
And it was not related to fishing, so I had to text him. Right.
I said, you have to remind me.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's gotten to the point where she doesn't yell at me for telling me that I have to remind me.
Because I know he has an open head center. No, but he has an open head center. So I have to remind myself and use my consciousness to be like, okay, remember he has an open head center and things are going to come in and out, especially if it's not related to fishing. So there you go. Right. I texted you to take the chicken out and defrost it.
That's perfect.
Yep. And it worked. And we had chicken for dinner, everyone.
Yep. Reminders are very important.
Reminders in our world. So there's a little business couples tip for you. But what we want to talk about today is identity and our journey as far as starting our business and how this kind of unfolded. We'll try to not make this super long because there are lots of parts to the story. But basically, when I met my husband, I had, prior to meeting him, I'd written down that I wanted to meet a tall guy with dark curly hair, a big smile, and a hobby. Well, be careful what you wish for in the worlds of quote-unquote manifestation, because here we are.
Yes.
He actually used to have dark curly hair. You can look at pictures.
Oh my gosh, I did have dark curly hair.
He still has a big smile. He's still taller than me and bigger than me. And he had a hobby called fishing. And when we met, he said, I don't think I'll love anything more than fishing. Can you handle that? And I was almost 35 and I had done a lot already in my life. So I was pretty independent. And I was like, yeah, sure. I just wanted a tall, dark, curly haired guy with a hobby. So So if you love the hobby more than me, I guess that's how it was going to play out. Fishing. So when I started to fish with Ryan, like going to Lake Michigan, oh my goodness, going to different lakes, driving around, getting maps, because, back then in the 2000s, there wasn't even GPS. So we bought maps.
Yeah, we bought maps.
We bought little Minnesota maps and Wisconsin maps.
Yeah, you started learning a little bit. It was really about knowing somebody, knocking on doors. If you were going to go fishing, you just went up, you knocked on somebody's door, said, "Hey, can I fish behind your house?" It was like, I grew up on the river system in the Mississippi River, so I was very familiar with, the ins and outs of fishing on private property, boat launching. I was kind of like a river rat kid. Like we would go to my grandfather, my grandpa Stigner had a river shack, and it was like down in a little town called Oquaka. That's Oquaka. Man. So I just those are just special times. So I grew up running the Mississippi River for catfish with my dad and running john boats and my dad and my grandfather, and it just was a special time. I learned a lot. I met a lot of people along the way, along the river system, and man, I got to tell you what, if I look back on all that stuff, I just wish I would have taken better notes, but it's still tucked away in my brain those days. So
I could tell that he really loved it. And then we used to watch this fishing show with this couple, and I wish I could remember the name. But this was back when so many fishing shows were super popular because there was nothing else to watch. So people really watched television.
Yeah.
And they traveled the world on this beautiful boat fishing. And I was like, that could be us. And then I got the idea that Ryan could actually be a captain. Because when we met, we had already talked about moving someplace where it never ever snowed and there was sunshine and green grass, and we did this whole little ritual to help him work through anxiety and depression. It's on my website. You can read it, melindavanfleet.com. And we, I was like, I wonder if we could actually make this a business someday. And you didn't really think it was going to happen.
No, I didn't. Nope. Kind of back in my mind, I was like, yeah, that would be cool. But, at that time, things were just different. I was I'm a 100% different person than I was in my 30s, in my 40s actually too. So, but yeah.
Yeah, because now I'm 54 and Ryan's 52, almost 53. We've been here 16 years. So it was our late 30s when we moved down here. Yep. So 38 and 36, yep. 37, something like that. So when we got down here, Ryan started fishing right away, doing all sorts of things. We were able to buy a small boat from some snowbirds. And after a while, and Ryan you'd interviewed, then you got a job on a party boat.
Yep. I made it around.
You made it around all different places.
Made it around. And then finally, I got what I thought was going to be a game changer as far as getting my foot in the door with a very respectable captain. It was going to I thought I was going to have a regular gig, and everything was going good. And then I got so the time came for the interview, and I was like, I remember sitting at the Whale Harbor parking lot, waiting for him to, send me the text that he was there. And then I waited at least 2 to 3 hours by myself, and he never texted, he never called. And then it's called Melinda. It's he's a no-show, and basically it was when that happened, it absolutely crushed me, because that was my dream, was to work underneath somebody that was respectable, that I could learn all the different aspects of fishing and put my time in, and possibly run a large charter boat. That's what I wanted to do.
So he comes home. I didn't even know that he had been really ghosted yet. And I was like, fuck this. You're going to be a captain. we're going to figure this out.
Yeah. So what would
You're
happen?
not meant to be a mate.
Yep.
You're not meant to be a mate. You are meant to be the captain. This is just a sign from God. And we just started working on like figuring it out.
Yeah. Started working on figuring it out.
Figure when could he have enough hours? When was the next class? Just all the pieces, and that whole process was not easy. There's so many details that will go into that, but we figured it out, and he got his captain's license in December, right around his birthday, which is crazy. December of 2011.
Yep.
Right around your birthday. It was like your best birthday present ever. Yep. Besides meeting me, because you met me around your birthday too.
Exactly.
Which would be better, me or your captain's license?
I remember I said I love fishing more.
Hopefully everyone's laughing. But yeah, your birthday's magical.
Yeah.
Me and a captain's license.
My birthday's a special time.
Cool. Yeah, it totally is. So, but here's the thing, people listening out there in podcast land, is I always could see his identity. I always could see that he had a big heart. I always could see that he was really dedicated to figuring this out. I could always see his love for the environment and science and biology and his passion and his ability to keep going and his perseverance and his wanting to get better. Like, there are people that are just innately curious and want to get better. And there are people that just don't. And that's not Ryan. Like, Ryan is innately curious and wants to get better. He channels it into fishing. I was able to take that and channel that into a business, and it helped him feel better. So the whole mental health piece was just kind of like a positive byproduct from an activity such as fishing. And there's so many people out there that, they run or they swim or they do different activities that helps their mental health state. And it's so important, if you're someone like that, to have something that you can hold on to as a really positive activity. And my identity is I'm a builder. Like, I was actually talking to someone just a few weeks ago about my buying background, because I was 16 years in the corporate world as a buyer for very large retailers. And it wasn't about being a buyer. It wasn't about like what people think in terms of like shopping or picking out product or picking out things. Like, it wasn't that at all. I love building businesses, helping people build a business, building our own business, building my own business, any which way you look at it. And so my identity was more of a builder archetype. And Ryan's was more of like sharing and working with people and figuring stuff out. And it came through with fishing as his gift. So we really kind of just were a good match in terms of those two things like syncing up.
Yes. 100%.
And I believed in you.
Yep. And I'm very grateful for that.
I believed in your goofiness.
I am still goofy.
He's really goofy. If you follow us on Instagram, we have our new little thing that I found at the Walmart based off of Alien Earth.
Oh my God. So if you guys don't know this, if you guys have ever seen my office, I got all these trinkets. He
does have a lot of trinkets.
I got
Yoda. Maybe we'll take a picture someday.
I grew up like collecting action figures and like for Star Wars, and I collected all these things based on things that I liked when I was a kid. So that kind of still carries over a little bit. I got little Yoda here beside me. I got like little Darth Vader. And then I was watching Alien Earth, and I liked that octopus character. That octopus.
He's like obsessed. If anyone watches Alien Earth, you'll know what I'm talking about.
And I like octopuses too. They're like one of the craziest sea creatures that are fairly intelligent. So and it's just interesting. So yeah, I like all these crazy things. Mm-hmm. So I just don't talk about it much.
But if you follow him on Instagram, he'll be doing more with Squiddo. Do you call him Mr. Squiddo?
No, Ocelius.
New name.
That's
okay, when did he get his name?
Because he's an octopus. He's not a squid.
Well, I know that, but we were calling him Squiddo for a minute.
Yeah, so I quit. I called him Lucilius. So I wanted to give him a proper name.
Found out when I found out.
He gets a proper name.
He now has a proper name. He now has a proper name, like the cat, Lex.
Yes. Like Lex the cat. That's another story.
Yeah.
Lex the cat.
So, anyhow, but what my message is that Ryan and I were talking about earlier that we really want to get across is really understanding who you are and what your gifts are for you. And unfortunately, in this world, there's just so many people trying to like either make a buck or copy or do something, or they think it's a great idea, or they hear from somebody that they should do something. And it's really not the way it works.
I know. It's funny. Is for me, when I get copied but when I'm doing something, like I was doing a fishing report, then it got copied. And I'm like, it's not fun when you get copied. So I'm like, I just go do something else.
Well, we move fast.
So
like even this podcast, for example, like we podcasted together for years, and then we gave it a break. And because honestly, we're just felt like moving on, our energy changes. There are some things obviously we're extremely consistent with, but some things can be more peripheral and we start and stop. So I think following your intuition and your guidance on how you feel with what you're doing at the time is really important, because if you're not into it, or you're just trying to copy somebody, or someone's copying you and you just need to move forward and do something else, then you have to do that.
Yeah.
So just follow what you feel is the best. I say intuition. Some people might just say gut. If that feels better for you, say gut. I follow my gut. Then do that. Move. Nothing in this world stays stagnant. No business stays stagnant. No one should stay stagnant. And that's definitely going to be a huge topic in the mastermind is movement. And knowing when to go, knowing when to pivot, knowing when to start something new, and really being supportive of each other in a mastermind environment, I think is really, really important. Sharing ideas in that too, because you may not completely resonate with an idea, but one idea spurs another. Like the whole concept of brainstorming is, genius. It's fundamental. So having some people in a group to brainstorm with and ideas, new ideas will percolate and be super fun. So yeah. But you have to know who you are first. It's
very important.
You have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. What is your skill set? What do you bring to the table? What are you passionate about? What are your gifts that are undeniably your gifts? And be able to, understand that and work with that.
Yep.
Yeah. I heard something yesterday from one of my mentors, and she was saying that your job chooses you. And she was right. And I've always felt that, because I've always thought to myself, well, if I'm not doing this, what else would I do? And nothing else has come to me. Nothing else has come to you.
No.
So that's it. We're here. It's just about growth and pivoting and trying new things and continuing to get better and learn as we go.
Yep.
As we go, at least at this stage, maybe something will pop up and I'll become some famous violin player or something. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know.
Race car driver?
Breakdancer.
Breakdancer. That's it. He always wanted to be a breakdancer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
That did not happen. That would be kind of weird.
I can only dream.
You can only dream. But you did. He did used to tell people that he was a breakdancer, and sometimes people believed him, and that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like a pink sock.
Like the pink socks?
It's like, what, you actually believe that I'm a breakdancer?
Yeah, he did get that. That is
if somebody
true.
would ask me, then I would just keep going on with the story about it, and where I went who I studied under, and then his name, and they're like, oh my God. Yeah, so don't give me an inch, I'll take a mile.
He will for sure. So I think that about wraps it up. We want to keep these kind of tight and light and not too heavy. So anything else you want to add?
Nope, I don't have anything to add.
All right, we got to think of our topic for next week.
Oh,
maybe you'll pick it from a lesson.
I'm sure that we'll come up with something.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Oh, do we?
We have a lot. Yes. So you can find me, melindavanfleet.com. We will put all our information in the show notes. Thank you for listening. And what about you?
You can find me on my website, goodkarmasportfishing.com, and Instagram, goodkarmasportfishing_FL_keys. And I've got a world famous YouTube.
Yes, you do. You do.
That's growing organically by the 100ths.
That's awesome.
Love it.
He does. He has YouTube. I do as well. Ryan's is much bigger than mine. Yeah. But I love my YouTube channel. We both have Patreon channels. Oh, and if you wish to dive further into identity, I do have a course on identity on my Patreon channel, which is Conscious Convergence. Again, this will all be in the notes. And if you wish to have one-on-one work on this topic, that would be where you could find my information on my website under the Work Together page on melindavanfleet.com. So anyhow, so let's cut it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for being here. Yep. Until next time.
Anytime you're fishing, it's all good.
All right. Bye for now.